Ladies and gentlemen, when God is about to give you something big, He doesn't send comfort, He sends challenge. The road becomes harder, the nights feel longer, and people may doubt you. But don't quit. In the silence, your faith is tested. In the struggle, your strength is built. When I started, nobody believed in me. I was rejected, laughed at, and told I wasn't good enough. But rejection is not the end. It's the beginning. Big things come not when you feel ready, but when you refuse to give up. Keep walking. Something big is coming. Rejection is preparation, not failure. This idea is difficult to accept when you're in the middle of hearing no after no, facing closed doors, or being overlooked for opportunities you deeply desired. But often, the very rejections we fear and try to avoid are the exact experiences we need to grow, refine, and develop into the kind of person who can handle what we are asking for. Many times, life doesn't give you what you want right away. Not because you're not worthy of it, but because you're not yet ready to carry it. When you get rejected, something inside you either breaks or builds. And in most successful people, it builds. Rejection forces you to look at your approach, your skills, your mindset, your resilience. It's a mirror that shows you whether you're truly committed or just casually interested. It's easy to say you want something when everything is going your way. But rejection asks the real question, how bad do you really want it? Take any great leader, entrepreneur, artist, or athlete, and you'll often find a history filled with failure, rejection, and being told they weren't good enough. The world didn't open the door for them. They knocked until their knuckles bled, and when that didn't work, they built their own doors. Why? Because rejection taught them how to be resourceful. It taught them how to be resilient. And it taught them how to be relentless. When you apply for a job and get turned down, when you pitch your idea and no one listens, when you love someone and they don't feel the same, it feels personal. But it isn't always about you being wrong. It's often about timing, about growth, about development. Sometimes the things we're asking for require a stronger version of ourselves. And rejection is the gym where that strength is built. If everything in life was handed to you, you wouldn't value it. You wouldn't protect it. You wouldn't fight for it. But when you get rejected over and over, and you still don't give up, then you become someone different. You become someone who doesn't just chase dreams. You become someone who earns them. Rejection gives you perspective. It humbles you, but it also fuels you. It teaches you to go back to the drawing board, to study harder, to practice longer, to think deeper. And when you finally reach your breakthrough, you'll realize that every no was simply leading you to the right yes. A yes that you were ready for, not just dreaming about. Most people let rejection define them. They hear no and take it as proof that they're not good enough. But high achievers flip the script. They take no as feedback, not as a final verdict. They adjust, they refine, and they come back better. Because they understand that rejection isn't a dead end, it's a detour. And often, the detour is what saves you from roads you were never meant to take. Rejection is also a test of ego. Can you still believe in yourself when nobody else does? Can you still show up with confidence even after being pushed aside? Those moments build character. They strip away the need for external validation and teach you to stand on your own belief. You learn to validate yourself, to affirm your own path, to trust your process even when it doesn't look like progress. There are seasons when it feels like nothing is working. Every door you knock on stays closed. Every plan seems to fail. And that's when most people quit. But those who don't quit, those who keep moving through rejection after rejection, they discover something most people never do, that rejection isn't the end of the story. It's the setup. It's the part of the journey where your foundation is poured. Without rejection, there is no hunger. Without hunger, there is no hustle. And without hustle, there is no transformation. So in that way, rejection becomes the hidden blessing. It keeps you sharp, it keeps you focused, it keeps you humble, and it keeps you hungry. So the next time you hear a no, the next time you face a wall, remember, it's not the finish line. It's the training ground. The longer you stay in the fight, the more skilled you become. The more skilled you become, the more valuable you are. And the more valuable you are, the closer you are to the opportunity that fits your purpose. Every setback is not a stop sign, it's a signal to dig deeper, to level up, to recommit. And when you shift your mindset from seeing rejection as failure to seeing it as preparation, everything changes. You stop fearing it. You start using it. You start learning from it. You start embracing it. The great irony is that many of the people who rejected you will come back later and ask how you did it. They'll admire the results, but they didn't see the process, the late nights, the tears, the loneliness, the frustration. But you saw it all, you lived it, and it's what shaped you. Rejection is like fire. It can destroy you, or it can forge you. It can burn your confidence, or it can light your passion. What makes the difference is how you see it, how you use it, how you grow from it. Because in the end, rejection isn't the enemy. It's the mentor in disguise. Struggles are signs of growth. They are not punishments, not curses, and definitely not proof that you're on the wrong path. In fact, the presence of struggle often confirms that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, on the edge of transformation, standing at the door of something greater. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes disguised in pressure, in resistance, in setbacks that feel unfair, and trials that feel unending. But every time life stretches you, it's preparing you to reach new levels. When you're going through something hard, the first instinct is to want it to stop. You want to get back to normal, to stability, to peace. But what if the struggle is the way to that peace? What if it's not a roadblock, but the actual path to what you've been praying for? Most people pray for strength, but don't want the struggle that builds it. They ask for wisdom, but reject the experiences that teach it. But life doesn't work like that. You grow through what you go through. Struggles are a sign that you're moving. When you stay in one place, when you're not aiming higher or dreaming bigger, life tends to stay quiet. But the moment you start pursuing something greater, whether it's a vision, a goal, or becoming a better version of yourself, the resistance begins. That resistance isn't meant to stop you. It's meant to shape you. Just like muscles only grow when they are torn and repaired stronger, your character grows when you're stretched beyond your comfort zone. Think about a seed buried in the soil. At first, it's hidden in darkness, pressed down by dirt. It looks like the end. But inside that pressure, something powerful is happening. The seed breaks open. Roots push downward and a sprout pushes upward. But none of that happens without struggle. The pressure is necessary. The darkness is necessary. And the breaking is necessary. It's the same with you. The struggle doesn't mean you're breaking down. It often means you're breaking through. Struggle also reveals your true capacity. You don't know how strong you are until you're forced to be strong. You don't know how focused you can be until distractions surround you and you choose your mission anyway. In times of ease, your potential sleeps. In times of struggle, it wakes up. The challenge doesn't create weakness. It reveals the strength that was always there, waiting to be called upon. People often admire strength in others, but forget what built it. They see the final product and not the pain that came with the process. Behind every champion is a chapter full of challenges. Behind every wise leader is a story full of mistakes, wrong turns, and struggles that didn't make sense at the time. But those moments weren't wasted. They were invested. They were invested. Every hour spent fighting through confusion, doubt, and disappointment became a lesson, a brick in the foundation of something real. Struggle is also the gatekeeper to transformation. If you want to grow, if you want to rise, if you want to become more, you have to be willing to go through more. Not everyone wants that. Some people avoid struggle at all costs, choosing comfort over challenge. But growth demands discomfort. It doesn't come with a manual. It comes with a mirror, forcing you to face parts of yourself that you might prefer to ignore. The anger, the insecurity, the fear, the impatience, struggle brings those to the surface so you can deal with them, not deny them. The most important shifts in life rarely come during easy seasons. They come when everything feels uncertain, when the plan falls apart, when the people you trusted walk away, when nothing seems to work. Those moments either break you or build you. But the difference is in your response. If you stay open, if you keep learning, if you keep moving even when the ground shakes, you'll come out the other side not just alive, but evolved. Struggles also teach you patience. In a world that's obsessed with speed and results, struggle slows you down and forces you to trust the process. You may not see progress every day. You may feel like you're walking in circles. But growth isn't always visible in the moment. Sometimes it's internal, shifting your mindset, strengthening your character, deepening your resilience. The work is being done even when you don't see the results yet. There's also a beauty in struggle that most people miss. It brings clarity. When life gets hard, distractions fall away. You find out what really matters. You learn who's really there for you. You reconnect with your why. You stop chasing the things that look good and start chasing the things that are good. Struggle strips away the surface and brings you back to your soul. That's why the people who have been through the most often have the most peace. Not because life got easier, but because they got clearer. The struggle is the only thing keeping you focused. If everything came easy, you'd lose your edge. You'd stop trying. But when it's hard, when it costs you something, you fight harder, you dig deeper. And that hunger is what makes the outcome meaningful. You don't just arrive, you earn it. And the pride that comes from earning something can never be taken from you. Struggles also make you relatable. People connect through pain more than they connect through perfection. When you've been through something real, you carry a different kind of energy. You speak from experience, not from theory. And that energy inspires others. It tells them, if I made it through, so can you. Your struggle becomes someone else's survival guide. Your scars become someone else's hope. That's how purpose is born, from turning your personal battle into a bridge for others. There's no shame in struggle. The world may try to shame you for not having it all together, for feeling lost or broken. But the truth is everyone is struggling with something. The difference is whether you let it define you or develop you, whether you hide it or use it, whether you run from it or rise through it. Struggle doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It often means you're doing it right. Growth hurts. Change hurts. Progress hurts. But nothing hurts more than staying stuck. You're not meant to live in fear. You're not meant to stay small. You were built to grow, and struggle is the sign that growth is happening. It may not feel good, but is good for you. The challenge is not your enemy. It's your invitation. Faith is proven in silence. In a world that's constantly moving, talking, and performing, silence is often seen as uncomfortable or even a sign of weakness. We expect answers. We expect validation. We expect confirmation that we're on the right path. But faith doesn't work like that. It thrives in silence, in the moments where nothing is visible, in the space between prayers and their answers, in the gaps when all you have is trust and hope. Faith is not a loud proclamation. It's the quiet determination to keep moving forward, even when the world around you gives no evidence of progress. When you're going through something difficult, silence can feel like abandonment. You pray, you work, you give your best effort, and yet the results don't show up the way you expect. The questions start to pile up. Why isn't this working? Why am I not seeing any change? Does anyone even hear me? But this is where faith truly begins. It's not in the noise of your circumstances, the applause of your achievements, or the recognition of others. Faith is most tested in the moments when you're alone with your thoughts, when you're wondering if all the work, all the sacrifices, all the persistence is worth it. Faith doesn't require answers immediately. It requires trust in the process. Silence allows you to listen. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of life, to let the external world define your direction, to be swayed by the opinions of others. But in silence, you reconnect with your own truth. It's in the stillness that you can hear the whisper of your intuition, the soft voice of your soul that guides you toward your true purpose. Faith doesn't demand constant feedback or approval from the outside world. It calls you to tune out the distractions and reconnect with the deeper knowledge that lives within you. In silence, you begin to see the bigger picture. You start to understand that the path you're on is not about immediate results. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. The challenges and the hardships are all part of the story, but they are often silent battles. No one can truly understand the depth of your struggles unless they've walked in your shoes. The most significant battles of faith are fought behind closed doors in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Faith requires resilience in the face of adversity, even when it feels like the world has forgotten about you. The silence around you doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're in the process of becoming. It means you're being refined, shaped, and prepared for something bigger than you can currently imagine. Faith isn't about receiving answers at the snap of your fingers. It's about holding on when nothing makes sense. It's about trusting in the unseen, in the things you can't prove with logic or reason. Faith demands that you keep going when you feel exhausted, when you feel like giving up. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well, when the world is applauding your every move, and when results are quick and visible. But true faith shines brightest when nothing is visible, when nothing is certain, and when everything seems impossible. It's in these moments that faith proves itself, not in loud declarations, but in quiet endurance. You face your doubts. It's easy to believe when you can see the finish line. But what about when the road stretches out ahead with no clear sign of when it will end? Faith doesn't shrink from doubt, it faces it head on. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience. But in silence, faith teaches you to sit with the discomfort of doubt without letting it control you. You learn that doubt doesn't have to be the enemy of faith. It can coexist with it, and in fact, can even strengthen it. When you choose to keep moving forward despite your doubts, you prove to yourself that your faith is stronger than your fear. Faith in silence is a deep inner conviction that you are on the right path. Even when you can't see the outcome, it's the knowledge that though things may not look the way you want them to, they are unfolding exactly as they need to. It's about trusting the process, not the outcome. When you're walking in silence, there are no immediate rewards to satisfy your ego. There are no external signs that validate your choices. But this is where the real work of faith happens. This is where your character is built. It's easy to believe when everything is going your way. But when everything is still, when the external world gives no evidence of progress, that's when faith proves its true strength. It's about believing even when you can't see. Faith in silence is also about patience. In the fast-paced world we live in, we are conditioned to expect instant results. We want answers now, solutions now, rewards now. But faith doesn't rush. It moves at the pace of life, not the pace of our desires. Faith teaches you that some things take time to unfold and that not everything needs to be hurried. When you're walking in silence, you learn to be patient with the process. You understand that things take time to grow, to manifest, and to come to fruition. In silence, you stop chasing external validation and start trusting the timing of your life. You realize that there's no need to force things when they're meant to come naturally. Silence also gives you the space to reflect. When the noise of the world fades away, you're able to look back on the journey you've walked and see how far you've come. It's easy to get caught up in the next goal, the next achievement, the next step, but silence allows you to pause and appreciate how much you've grown. Faith is not just about looking forward. It's about acknowledging how far you've come. It's about understanding that every step, every struggle, every challenge has shaped you into the person you are today. In silence, you can see that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. Faith is also a relationship with the unknown. It's about being okay with not having all the answers. In silence, you let go of the need to control every aspect of your life. You let go of the need to figure it all out right now. And in doing so, you make room for the mystery of life to unfold. Faith teaches you that sometimes not knowing is a gift. Sometimes not having all the answers frees you to explore, to take risks, to grow in ways that would never have been possible if you had all the certainty in the world. Silence gives you the space to trust, to surrender, and to embrace the beauty of the unknown. Big blessings require big perseverance. Many people envision success as a straight path, a series of easy steps that lead to their desired destination. But the reality is that success is often a winding road filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments where quitting feels like the most logical option. Yet it is precisely through these difficult moments, through the persistent effort in the face of challenges, that big blessings come. It's not about having the right circumstances or perfect timing. It's about having the determination to keep going when it would be easier to stop. Perseverance is what sets successful individuals apart from those who give up. When faced with rejection, failure, and frustration, most people are tempted to walk away. It's easy to give up when things aren't going the way you imagined. But perseverance demands that you stay committed, even when the road gets tough. It's the quiet strength that says, I will keep going, even if it means facing another obstacle tomorrow. This mindset is essential because the bigger the blessing, the more it will test your endurance. The path to the extraordinary is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who are willing to keep pushing forward. Even when it seems like there is no progress being made, the most significant breakthroughs rarely happen overnight. Success doesn't just fall into your lap. It requires long hours, sleepless nights, and countless sacrifices. The work you put in day after day. When no one is watching, when there's no applause, when there's no guarantee of reward, lays the foundation for what's to come. Many people think that the world rewards talent, luck, or charisma, but it's perseverance that wins in the end. It's the ability to keep showing up, to keep working towards a goal despite the setbacks and difficulties that eventually leads to the big blessings. Perseverance is not about being immune to failure. In fact, it is because of failure that perseverance is so powerful. Every time you stumble, you learn something valuable. Every time you fall down, you gain insight into what works and what doesn't. The most successful individuals are not those who never fail. They are those who learn from their failures, adapt, and continue moving forward. They understand that setbacks are simply part of the process. They see failure as feedback, not as a final verdict. The key is not in avoiding failure, but in using it to fuel your growth, to push yourself further, and to gain a deeper understanding of your mission. There is a sense of power that comes from knowing you can weather the storms, knowing that no matter how difficult things get, you can find a way through. This is the essence of perseverance. It's not just about the end goal. It's about developing the resilience to overcome challenges as they arise. Life will test you in ways that challenge your faith, your patience, and your determination. But each time you rise again, you build a stronger version of yourself. You grow in character, in strength, and in confidence. You start to realize that the difficulties you face are not obstacles, but stepping stones to the blessings that await you. Big blessings also require sacrifice. The road to success is not paved with comfort and ease. It's paved with tough decisions, hard work, and moments when you have to choose between what is easy and what is right. Sometimes perseverance means saying no to immediate gratification in order to build something bigger for the future. It's about resisting the temptation to quit when things get tough, because you know that the work you're putting in today will lead to rewards tomorrow. It's about putting in the time, energy, and resources when you can't yet see the results, knowing that your perseverance will eventually pay off. This process of perseverance can feel incredibly lonely at times. There are days when you will wonder if anyone even notices the effort you're putting in. There are moments when you might question whether it's all worth it, when you feel like you've been working for so long with little to show for it. But it's precisely in these moments that perseverance proves its worth. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, when everything is falling into place. But it's in the struggle, in the times when things aren't working out, that perseverance becomes the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Another essential element of perseverance is belief. You must believe that what you're working toward is worth the effort. Without belief in the bigger picture, it's easy to get discouraged. If you can't see the end result, if you can't imagine the blessing that's waiting for you, then it's easy to quit when things get difficult. But belief fuels perseverance. It gives you the strength to keep going even when the way forward isn't clear. It helps you hold on to the vision of what could be even when the reality of your current situation seems far from it. Belief is also what allows you to push through doubts and fears. Everyone experiences self-doubt at some point. It's natural to question your ability to succeed, especially when things are not going as planned. But perseverance demands that you press on even in the face of uncertainty. It teaches you that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a necessary part of the journey. You have to believe that your efforts are leading you somewhere. And more importantly, you have to believe that you are capable of achieving what you've set out to do, no matter how many setbacks you face along the way. The journey of perseverance is often long, and it's easy to get discouraged along the way. But this is where the power of small victories comes into play. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goal. Every time you continue despite the odds, you are building momentum. Big blessings are not the result of one giant leap. They are the culmination of many small steps taken consistently, day after day. It's the accumulation of effort over time that leads to the big breakthrough. Patience is another crucial component of perseverance. Success takes time, and the road to big blessings is not always linear. There will be times when it feels like nothing is changing, when the progress is slow, when the obstacles seem overwhelming. But this is where patience comes in. Perseverance teaches you to trust the process, to keep moving even when you can't see the immediate results. It teaches you to stay steady, to remain committed, and to keep your eyes on the long-term goal even when the short-term challenges feel insurmountable. Perseverance is the ingredient that turns dreams into reality. It transforms ideas into tangible outcomes. Without it, nothing of significance can be achieved. The biggest blessings in life require not just effort, but unwavering determination, the willingness to keep going no matter how hard the road gets. When you persevere, you are demonstrating that you are worthy of the blessings that are coming your way. You are proving that you have the strength, resilience, and belief to turn your dreams into reality. And as you continue to push forward, the rewards will eventually follow.